Hello, my name is Stephanie Kane. We're coming to the mat again for another 30-minute flow with UNLV. So coming to that child's pose, toes touching, knees out to the side, practicing one step, forehead comes down to the mat, nothing else matters. Trying to connect your breath, your body. Taking in a deep inhale. And sigh all of that breath out loud in your mouth. Let go. Take in another deep inhale. Fill up your bellies, not just your chest. And sigh all of that breath out loud your mouth, letting go. Starting that Ujjayi breath, that victorious breath. Lock down your throat. Taking that deep inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. Expanding that diaphragm. That breath is deeper than the shallow breath that we breathe all day long. Finding the rhythm and pattern of your breath. Locking down the rest of your bandhas. That pelvic floor, the Kegel muscle, drawing your floating rib cage upwards. That awareness is to the inside of your body. Taking 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, igniting through those palms, walking them back to your torso, curling up over those toes, bringing those knees together, seat to your feet, rising all the way up. Fingertips down to that mat. Inhale, rise. Palms. And take them to your heart center, closing your eyes here. And again, setting that intention for your practice. What brings you to your mat, you keep that in mind. Taking your palms to your forehead, sealing your practice. And then back down to your heart center. On that next inhale, blinking those eyes open, crawling back out to that tabletop, preparing for those cow cats. Warming up our spines. So on that next inhale, round out that stomach, taking that gaze up the sky. And then exhale into your cat, taking your spine in the opposite direction. Inhale into your cow. And exhale into that cat. 2 more cow cats, your breath to movement. You inhale into the cow and you exhale into your cat. When you're done with your last cow cat, simply come to your tabletop. On that next inhale, we're going to take that right leg out, taking that right palm up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. On that next inhale, taking that right palm, placing it onto your hip. And then exhale, crunch that right knee in. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, crunch that knee in. Inhale all the way up. Crunching that knee in. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, crunch that knee. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, crunch that knee. Inhale all the way back up. And then exhale, we're going to place that palm, that knee, back down to your mat, coming into that tabletop, preparing for your opposite side. On your next inhale, taking out that left leg, opening up that hip, left palm up to the sky. Inhale, spread those fingers wide, reach through those fingertips. 2 more breaths, inhale. And exhale. 1 last deep inhale. And exhale. On that next inhale, taking that left palm onto your hip, your waist. And then exhale, crunch that knee in. Inhale out. Exhale, crunch that in. Inhale out. Exhale, crunch that in. 2 more times. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, crunching it in. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale all the way back up. And then exhale, place that palm and that knee back down to your mat, coming into your tabletop. On your next inhale, curl up over those toes, pushing back into your downward dog. When those heels touch that mat, bend that right knee, straighten that left. Walk that dog out. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Bringing that downward dog to a still on that next inhale, pushing back. Inhale, walk those palms back towards your feet, preparing for that ragdoll hinge from your waist. Let the crown of your head fall towards the earth. Opposite palms to your elbows, sway from side to side. And just taking 2 more breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. Bring that ragdoll to a still. Releasing those palms in your mat. Walking back out into that downward dog. And fully push back into that downward dog. On your next inhale, take that right foot to the top of your mat, coming into that low lunge. Drop that left knee down if you need. Inhale, rising up through those fingertips. And then exhale your palms into your heart center. Inhale. And then on that exhale, twist to that right side, leading with that right shoulder and elbow. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale back into your heart center, releasing that left palm on the inside of that right foot. Exhale, twisting, taking that right palm and gaze up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reaching through those right fingertips, placing them on the inside of that right foot. Taking that right foot back. Fully push back into your downward dog. Inhale that left foot to the top of your mat. Find your low lunge. That knee stacked over that ankle. Drop your right knee down if you need. Inhale, rising those fingertips up to the sky, reaching through those fingertips. And then exhale your palms into your heart center. Inhale, feel that navel go to the back of your spine. And then exhale, twisting from your waist, leading with that left shoulder and elbow. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale back into your heart center. Releasing that right palm on the inside of that left foot. And then exhale, twisting, taking that left palm and gaze up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, taking that left palm on the inside of that left foot and pushing back, taking back into your downward dog. Melt those heels to your mat. And just take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Let's inhale. Come to that high plank. Stack your shoulders over your wrist. On that next inhale, let's take down that left forearm. Just come down to that left forearm. And then rising back up. And then taking that right knee over to your left side. Taking it back down. Inhale, taking that right forearm down to your mat. And then exhale, rising back up. And then taking that left knee over to that right tricep. Inhale back. One more time on each side. Coming down onto that left forearm. Inhale, rise back up. Right knee to your left arm. And then back. Coming down to that right forearm. Rising back up. Left knee to that right. Coming all the way back. And then exhale, push back into that downward dog. On your next inhale, tip your toe to the top of your mat. Bringing your feet hip width apart. Placing that right palm in the center of your feet. And then on that exhale, twist from your waist, taking that left palm gaze up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, left fingertips reaching through them, placing them down to your mat where your right is. And then exhale, twisting your waist, taking that right palm and gaze up the sky, spreading your fingers wide, reaching through those fingertips. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, take that right palm back down to your mat. And exhale. Inhale, heel toe your feet together to where your toes are touching, heels are slightly apart. Again, that's basic anatomy. None of us are basic, so find your foundation. On that next inhale, lift up those toes. Find the 3 points of contact in your feet. Your big toe mound, your pinky toe mound, your heel toe mound. It always causes that natural arch that we're supposed to have. You find it. Foot. On that next inhale, come to your half lift. Placing those toes down to your mat. Weights into your toes, lengthening through your spine. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale again to your half lift. And then exhale back into your forward fold. Inhale, swan like his arms over your head. Clasping your palms together. Reaching to those fingertips. And then on that exhale, come over to your right side, leaving your hips right where it is. You're just leaning over to that right. Getting that lateral stretch in. And taking 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, heart center. And then exhale, opposite side. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale back. Taking your palms to your heart center. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale to that half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms to the mat, stepping that right foot back into your high plank, followed by your left. On your next inhale, come into your upward facing dog or your cobra. So you would drop down to your knees, inhale into that cobra or your upward facing dog. And then exhale into that downward facing dog. It fully push back into that downward dog. Inhale that right foot forward. Warrior 1, aligning your heels, your date. Coming all the way up and you find your warrior 1. Your heels are aligned, back pinky toe mounds in that mat, and trying to get those hips square to the top of the mat. Never forcing anything, reaching through those fingertips. Having that front knee is stacked over that ankle, and you align your body, taking in one last deep inhale. And then exhale into that warrior 2, taking that left palm down. Now those hips are open. Squeeze through those shoulder blades, reaching to those fingertips. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale back into that warrior 2. Inhale to your high crescent lunge, taking that left palm, bringing it to the top of your mat. And then you find your high crescent lunge. Reaching to those fingertips up to the sky, and you can have a back bend, reach straight up, and just take one last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, warrior 3. You already know you come into your warrior 3 and come up this way. If that is too much for you, take your foot to the top of that mat. Grounding that right foot into your mat, staring at something that's not moving, and just take your left foot back. Your hips are square to that mat. Take care of this. Your palms are at your heart center out in front of you. Find your balance. Taking one last deep inhale. And exhale. On that next inhale, try to hinge from your waist, releasing that right palm into your mat to that half moon. You take that left palm up to the sky. Maybe that gaze. Or you keep that gaze down to your mat. Maybe that left palm's on your mat. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, taking that left leg up to the top of your mat. Find your balance. You take that leg all the way out. Maybe you can come into a pistol squat. Who cares if you do it or not? You do what your body will allow. And then let's take that all the way back out. Inhale, come into that half moon. Just try to flow with your breath. On that next inhale, swing into that one more time. Taking that left leg underneath, bringing it all the way back out. And again, you can come into a pistol squat. You stay right here. And then inhale all the way back out. That half moon. Exhale. Inhale, come with that half lift, taking that left foot up to the top of your mat. Half lift. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant those palms to the mat. Chaturanga vinyasa. Step back, left foot high plank or jump back with suspension. Inhale to your cobra or that upward facing dog. Exhale to that downward facing dog. And fully push back into your downward dog and take 2 breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale that left foot to the top of your mat, finding your warrior one. Aligning your heels. That pinky toe mountain line is into that mat. Trying to get those hips square to the top. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And then exhale into your warrior two. Open up those hips. Squeezing through those shoulder blades. Reaching through your fingertips. Inhale, reverse warrior. Flipping that left palm, coming all the way back. Exhale back into your warrior two. Inhale into that high crescent lunge. Cartwheeling that right palm. Coming up off that back foot. Taking those palms to the sky. Maybe you have a back bend. And take one last deep inhale. And exhale. Coming into your warrior three. Inhale. Coming up off that right foot. Coming to your warrior three. Remember, if that doesn't work, take that right foot to the top of your mat. Ground that left. Staring at something that's not moving and taking that right leg back. You find your warrior three. Find that balance. Taking in one last deep inhale. And then maybe on the exhale, hinge from your waist. Taking that left palm down to your mat. Finding your half moon. Flex that foot. Maybe your right palm goes to the sky. Maybe your gaze does. Maybe it doesn't. You do what your body will allow. Inhale. Taking that right leg up to the top of your mat. Maybe you come down into a pistol squat. Inhale back up, releasing into that half moon. And then find your half moon. And then one more time. Let's take that foot up to the top of your mat. See? Nobody's perfect. Take that foot all the way up. Maybe you come down into that pistol squat. You don't have to. And then inhale, rise back up. Coming into that half moon. And then exhale your palms. Top of your mat, half lift. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale again to that half lift. And then exhale, chaturanga vinyasa. Step back into that high plank. Inhaling into a cobra, your upward facing dog. And then exhale into that downward facing dog. Fully pushing back into that downward dog. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, drop down to those knees. Toes touching, push back into that child's pose. Forehead comes down to that mat. And just take 2 breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up to that tabletop. And then exhale. Coming into that extended puppy pose. Just coming down to those forearms. Your elbows are out from underneath your shoulders. Taking that seat to the back of the room. Maybe your forehead comes down to that mat. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale slowly, mindfully coming back up. Keeping those forearms into your mat. So now taking your palms and clasping them together. On that next inhale, we're going to drop the crown of the top of your head to the mat, getting the back of your head into the palms of your hand. On that next inhale, we're curl up over those toes, coming. It's kind of a form of dolphin pose. You come right here, not forcing anything. Maybe you inhale, take that right leg up to the sky, and exhale back down to your mat. Inhale that left leg. If you have forearm headstanding practice, you can roll up over those toes. Inhale that left, and exhale back down to your mat. Inhale that right leg, and exhale back down to your mat. Inhale that left leg, exhale back down to your mat. You came into your forearm stand, inhale, coming back down to your mat. Exhale, drop down to those knees, and push back into that child's pose. You lost your breath, find it here, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One last deep inhale, and exhale. On your next inhale, igniting through those palms, walk them back towards your torso, coming all the way up. Taking those feet out to your right side. Bringing those legs out in front of you. On your next inhale, let's draw that left leg. Curling it under. Take that right foot on the outside of that left knee. Finding both sits bones in your mat. Here, how are we twisting your hip flexor muscle? Bring that knee in. And you twist from your waist, taking that left elbow on the outside of that right knee. Palms together. Inhale. Exhale. Twist. Releasing that right palm behind you into your mat. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, that gaze back into your heart center. And then exhale. Release, twist back to front. Coming into that cow face, releasing that right knee over that left. And if that is too much for you, take out that left leg and still try to align your knees over one another. Never forcing anything. You're in that full cow face, making sure both sits bones are down to your mat. Taking that deep inhale. And let's exhale. Maybe you start to walk out and forward fold over. And we're still maintaining that breath because you're still on that date with yourself. And just taking 3 more here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Take 1 last deep inhale. And exhale. Ignite through those palms, walking it back up. And then exhale, let's release. Take your legs all the way up. And then on that exhale, we're going to bring that right leg in, curling it up. Taking that left leg, placing it on the outside of that right knee. Again, use your hip flexor muscles. You're trying to bring that knee in. Twist from your waist, taking that right elbow on the outside of that left knee. Palms are together. Inhale. And on that exhale, you twist from your waist, taking that left palm and gaze to the back of your mat or bus. Twist from your waist. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. 1 last deep inhale. and exhale. Inhale, take that gaze back into your heart center in the front. And then exhale, twist from your waist. Coming into that cow face on this side, releasing that left knee over that right. If you did half on the other side, release that right leg out in front of you, trying to align your knees over one another. Draw yourself all the way back up, taking in that deep inhale, and then exhale, crawling those palms out in front of you, if that's available. Never force anything in yoga. If you ever feel pain, immediately come out of that pose. Let's just take 3 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, ignite through those palms. Walk them back up to your torso, coming all the way up. And then exhale, let's release our legs out in front of us. Just stretch them all the way out. Push through your heels. Let's inhale. Working on our boats, that core. It is the foundation to anything we do. So coming into your boat, not mine. So here, when we're sitting like this, make sure we're not rounding out our spines, dumping into our body. Draw yourself all the way up. Let's inhale, taking those feet up to your boat. Engaging that core. Lengthen through your spine. Your palms always can be at your knees. You have them out to the side. You can lengthen through your legs. You can take your legs, bring them in. It is your boat. Just take those breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale. And then on that exhale, twist to your left side. Reaching. Inhale back into your heart center. And then exhale, twist to that right side. Inhale, heart center. And then exhale, twist to that left. Inhale back into your heart center. Exhale, twist to that right. Inhale back into your heart center. Exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bend those knees, get those feet as close to your torso. Round out your spine, forehead to your knees. Wrap your arms around your leg. And take 3 breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, coming out of your ball. Taking those feet out in front of you. Lower yourself down to that mat. You know how I feel about that. Always use your palms. Come down to that mat. Inhaling those knees into your chest. Flex your feet. Wrap your arms around your legs. Inhale. Exhale. On that next inhale, releasing those feet up to the sky for that waterfall. Placing your palms, hands down by your side. Like you're walking on the sky. And taking another breath here. And if this is good for you here, you stay here. Maybe on that next inhale, coming into your shoulder stance. We push through our palms, take our seat up off the mat. Release those palms onto your hips, the lower part. And then slowly coming up into your shoulder stand. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, coming into a plow if that's in your practice. Releasing those toe bends to the top of your mat. Placing those palms face down back onto your mat. Take one last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, try to start slowly rolling out one vertebrae at a time. Coming back, leading into that waterfall. On that next inhale, bending those knees, taking your palms out to the side, And then exhale, take those knees over to your left. Leaving that right shoulder blade into your mat. Gaze over to your right. 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale your head, your gaze back to the center. Exhale those knees to your center. Inhale. And then on that exhale, take those knees over to that right side. Leaving that left shoulder blade plugged into your mat. Taking that gaze over to your left. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale your head, your gaze back into your center. Exhaling those knees back in your chest. Wrapping your arms around your legs. Flex your feet. Inhale, reaching and lengthening, hovering over your mat like a starfish. Exhale to your ball of energy. Forehead to your knees, flex to your feet. Wrap your arms around your legs. Inhale all the way back out. Exhale, ball of energy. Inhale all the way back out. Exhale back into your ball of energy. Inhale all the way back out. And then exhale, melt into your mat. And just be thankful and appreciate what you just asked your body to do. Staying here or coming to that fetal position on either side, knees to your chest, using your opposite arm as a pillow. Stay here or meeting me at the top of your mat. We always take our right leg in first, followed by our left. Palms to your heart center. Smile often, think positive, give thanks, forgive quickly, laugh loudly, and love others. The light in me honors and recognizes the light in you. And I humbly appreciate you letting me guide you in your practice. And thank you for coming to class. Namaste.